Fran Ella Grace. I was born and raised in Toledo, Ohio. I have 2 years of college degree I didn't finish because I left college to help teachers because we had a shortage of teachers. So I was pulled out of college and was offered a job helping teachers, like a teacher aide. And then I got caught up with my children and I never went back. So that's my education. Most of my awards, I have musical awards from the Sacred Strings. I'm one of the queens of Sacred Strings, like an OG, because I've been playing over probably a good 30-something years. And I also have awards in sports. We're well known for sports in my family. And I was a coach for a sixth grade team of girls at two different schools. I was at Catholic schools, Queen of Apostles and Sacred Heart. I was a teacher aide there. I helped with sports, and I actually won. We won one championship, has my name on it, and I actually won with 6 girls. I had a team of actually 11. The other girls chose to go to the mall, believe it or not. And I couldn't get mad because at that age, that's what girls think about. But I took the 6 girls that I had, and we made it to our championship, and I actually coached them to win. So I was pretty proud about that. It's not how many you have, it's how you use the skill.
I'm going to make the assumption that the team that you was coaching was basketball.
Yes.
Yeah, because when you said 6, I said, well, there's not many sports that you can win with just 6 on the bench,
Exactly.
on your bench or on your roster. So yeah, I used to play basketball too. I love it.
Yes. My son coaches right now. He's coaching basketball, and they're traveling all over. So he kind of got that from me because we love sports. And my birthday actually is July 26th, 1965. So I'm 2 years from 60, and I feel pretty good there, Pixie.
You a baby. You're just a baby to me. Yes, you are.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
So what other sports besides basketball that your family participated in?
We ran track. My brothers played football, but we ran a lot of track. My daughter ran track. My brothers was good in softball. And then I tried to play tennis, but when I played basketball in high school, and I injured my knee, and actually 2 years ago, I had a knee replacement. So I had a piece of metal in my left leg, and actually they want to take it out and put a smaller piece in at the end of the year because they said the piece of metal that's in there is too large, and because it's causing me not to stand upright and walk properly. So they're actually going to take this out, put a smaller piece of metal in. So that's something I'm not happy about, but if it's going to make me walk and run, I'm okay with it.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
now, I said the yes, ma'am, and I'm not being, I'm just saying that yes, indeedy. Anything that can give you comfort, you go for it.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, wow. The reason that I know about you or just became aware of you is because I heard you at the Richmond Folk Festival. And apparently that was your first time as playing at a folk festival?
At a festival, yes. That was my first time, Pixie. I have played only in the church, but not that much. I did most of my playing in my bedroom. For 30 years, I played, majority of my playing was in my bedroom. And I didn't have an amplifier. It's like playing this instrument, the sacred steel guitar. I play an 8-string Sierra. And playing this instrument brings me so much joy. And I'm an emotional player. So you can kind of tell when I'm in a good mood, I play happy. When I'm kind of going through some things, I play a little sad. So I'm an emotional musician. That's how my music comes out. So my son always say, you can't be stressed, Mom. We need that good happy plan. I'm like, right. So yes, I'm an emotional player, but I love it. I went through a divorce. And during my divorce, and I'm not ashamed to say it because my friends, family, everybody knows, I went through domestic violence. I had to have therapy for it and things like that. And this is the personal side that I'm sharing. But you know what? I was one of the survivors of it. And to this day, me and my ex-husband, we're cordial. I forgave him because it was kind of a generational curse type of thing where he wasn't raised by a man. He didn't know anything. And we got married pretty young. So I had to look at it like he was wrong for the things that he did, but, he asked me to forgive him, and I did, but I had to go to therapy, and so did he. And my children's lives are much healthier because we seek the help, that we did. And I didn't let my pain destroy me. But everything I went through, my music is what helped me to survive. Because I always, I put my kids to sleep, I worked 12-hour shifts for 17 years, and I never missed anything my children was involved in school, and that's why they're successful. I put my heart in it. When they were asleep, I would play my music 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. When I come home from work and they're in school, before I go to sleep, I will play my music. I did that for 30 years. This is what comes out of me. This is how I'm able to play. And a lot of people never heard that story. I shared it to help someone. You can't let your pain destroy you. A lot of musicians, female and male, go through a lot of things, and they don't talk about it. I always want to help someone along the way, always. That's just something I believe in.
So when I heard you, you were in a good mood during the
Yeah.
festival because you
Yes.
was rocking it out. You would, oh
Oh,
my,
bless your heart. Bless your heart. I'm in a whole better place now. I really am. And it helps my children.
I was behind the stage, backstage, just jamming. I mean, I couldn't help myself. I couldn't help myself. That
Oh,
music was, you definitely can make your steel guitar sing and talk.
yes.
Ooh,
That's what it does. It talks, it sings, it hollers. And then I'm a lover of jazz too. So I kind of play gospel jazzy. I love jazz music. But yeah, I want people to enjoy it, dance, lift your hands, whatever you feel like doing, but I want them to enjoy it. I try to put everybody in a happy place. And that just makes me feel great, when I see that. Somebody asked me, are you okay if I dance? I said, please dance as much as you want.
so you like jazz? Who do you like?
I don't have a particular player. I love the trumpet. You know what? When I heard, is his name John, play the bass? Was
You mean
that his name?
Jock Jones?
Jones, play the bass?
Yes.
I was floored. I let my family hear it, and they were blown away. The guy that plays with me, my godson, Byron Harris Jr., he plays, I think, a 5-string bass, and boy, oh boy, he put me in the mind of him, but he was playing so fast. I was like, wow. But my oldest sister is a lover of jazz, and her husband, and they usually take me to some places they go, like festivals and things like that, and I just be blown away. I don't have a particular player. I just love the music. Maybe that don't make sense, but
Yes.
I just love jazz. I follow anybody I hear playing. I just like it.
There's something about jazz that sway, that moan,
Yes. Yes.
that laugh, that cry. It is
Yep.
all there. It's all there.
Mhm.
Blues is like that also. At that festival, I also met Cedric Burnside
Burnside. Yeah, I loved him too.
and
I
Mr.
did.
Jimmy Duck Holmes.
I don't know if I got a chance to hear him,
He
but I did hear that.
Mr. Burnside and Mr. Holmes, they both play blues, but they're from different regions. They have, that's what
Ah,
I find out. Jazz is jazz, blues
right.
is blues, but all of you, including with the sacred guitar, y'all have fractions within the
Hmm.
music. Because I was reading how you are part of the Jewel
Dominion.
Dominion. Yeah, Jewel
Yes.
Dominion, that you're part of that type of music. But
Yep.
there's other segments of Sacred
Mhm.
Steel. What are the other segments of the Sacred Steel?
As far as what, who else plays? Is that what you're talking about?
Well, I was reading where is a specific tempo that the Jewel Diamond.
Oh yeah, yeah. First it was kind of fast. When we were with the House of God, Mother Tate, when she started all of this, the tempo was really fast. Like if you pull up House of God right now under Mother Tate, you hear them playing like real fast. When there was a split, we had like Keith Dominion, Jewel Dominion. When we split off, Bishop Harrison, who was our chief musician under our overseer Jewel, he changed our beat and he slowed it down. That's how our rhythm, our music changed. He slowed it down. He picked up the hymns because some of the hymns that they sang in the House of God under Mother Tate were slow. He picked them up and gave them a little beat, and that's how the Jewel Dominion started their music under Bishop Lorenzo Harrison. Mattie Lou Jewell was our overseer from Mother Tate. When they split, we were under her. And then her chief musician was Bishop Lorenzo Harrison. But yeah, he changed it. And then we had a lead guitar, we had a piano, and we had a drum. We didn't have so much a bass, but they added like the bass player later. And then we just had the three-piece. We had the lead guitar, sacred steel, and we had a drum. Three pieces was the main thing we had. Like the bass and the drums, they would add that stuff in sometimes every now and then. But we rocked the house with just a three-piece band.
So what is the Keith?
The Keith Dominion was another split out of Mother Tate. It was the Keith, the Jewel, and the Lewis. When she passed away, they just divided the church. Everybody took a part of it and kind of did their own thing with it.
What is the base of those music patterns?
Those dominions?
Yes.
Like the Keith is under Bishop Elliott. He's, I believe he's in, I want to say, Tennessee. He's still there. They call that the mountaintop. Actually, we all do the same thing. It's just the music is either faster or slower.
And that what makes the different fractions different.
That's what makes the difference.
Is the tempo.
Is the tempo. Like the Campbell brothers, they do festivals for NCTA. They travel all over. Now, when you hear them play, and they play many festivals, been playing for years, and they're the ones that recommended me with Bob Stone to the NCTA. That's how I started, because they recommend me. But these guys play fast. They play fast. But when you hear us, we kind of just more mellow, more relaxed. And if you pull it up on YouTube, you can see the different services and you can tell the difference, because they do a praise dance. The members, the saints get happy. They do their little praise dance. Well, the Keith Dominion, they pretty fast with their little dance when they getting happy. And then you look at the Jewel Dominion, when they getting happy, they real slow. So it is a difference in the tempo. But other than that, we are basically same thing. We believe in the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. So we're basically under that same tent, but we just broke off. But if you put us all together like a puzzle, the face that you would see would be Mother Tate.
What is the NCTA? What does that mean?
National Council of Traditional Arts. That's who I'm under. That's with Richmond.
Do you like Rosetta Thorpe?
Rosetta Thorpe? Yes, yeah. I do. That guitar playing lady? Yes, I do. I believe she sing that song about the train. Yes, I like her. I play guitar too. Yep.
I read somewhere that Chuck Berry copied him after Miss Thorpe.
Yep. She was a bad sister. And she did stories. She played the guitar and played stories as she played the guitar. And she just captivated the audience. They loved it.
And she started in the church also. In fact, that's what she was known. I mean, she wasn't a blues. She wasn't jazz. I always thought of her as being a person that was centered in the church.
In the church, yeah. And you know what? When I listen to musicians and read their backgrounds, most of them have R&B artists. Most of them have started from the church. And then they ventured out. Somebody heard them and liked them, and they ventured out and grew.
Tell me a little bit about your grandmother, Ella Mae Dupree.
Oh, my grandmother was wonderful. She started our church. Our overseer, Bishop Jewell, had sent my grandmother to pastor a church out in the country because the church didn't have a pastor. There was a lady who was running it, believe her last name was Russell. She couldn't run it any longer, so my grandmother was sent to this church, and my grandmother named it State Line Church of Living God because where the church was located, it was on the Michigan and Ohio line. It was a white little country church. They had lights. They used a black kettle stove to heat the church. They didn't have a bathroom in the church. They had an outhouse. They didn't have a kitchen or anything. Well, my grandmother took it over. She put a heating system inside, put a bathroom inside, and put a small little kitchen inside. We didn't have any music. Somebody gave my grandmother a small bass floor tom drum. My grandmother had her brother go in the back, Uncle John Lee, and get a hanger. He bent the hanger where she can handle it because she only had one arm. She had an accident when she was younger, lost her arm. He bent the hanger so she could use it with the one arm she had, and she would pull the drum in between her legs real tight, and that's how she could control it. And she took that one arm she had and would sing her congregational song and beat that drum with that hanger. The few of us that was there, we were clapping and singing, and we got into it like she was the whole band. Actually, my grandmother started her life out as a maid for Miss Manning. Never going to forget this. And Miss Manning she was different. She wasn't I don't know if I can how to explain it, but my grandmother wasn't treated like just anybody there just cleaning. She became a part of their family. Miss Manning would ask my grandmother what her children, grandchildren needed, and anything we needed, she would supply that. She would help us and make sure we were all taken care of. And my mother had 8 kids. And then wherever Miss Manning would go, she would take my grandmother would travel with her. She would send my grandmother by herself on vacations, and my grandmother had been on boat cruises and all of these kind of things. And she loved her job. And I think that was just a blessing that she was receiving that type of favor. And I believe that's how she was able to pay for the stuff that we had at our church. Because Miss Manning, and she even visited our church. She would come there and things she sees, she would be like, well, we got to take care of that. She would call my grandmother Ella. We got to take care of that, Ella. But my grandmother was a giver. Anything she would receive, she'd take care of the neighborhood. She would have all kind of children coming to the church, children that had problems. Parents couldn't handle them. My grandmother could talk them down from different situations. She was just an amazing person, and she can cook. Wonderful cook. She taught us a lot about cleaning and just life, period. She was a wonderful woman. And that's where our music started, at our church with my grandmother. And then she said to all of us young kids, she said, hey, you guys going to have to learn how to play some instruments or something. So what she did, she prayed for us. I don't know if you ever heard of the anointing oil, but
Yes.
she anointed our heads with oil and our hands rubbed our hands. And she prayed for us each individually and asked God to give us an anointing of gifts that we could use for the church and for the saving of his people. All of us played, never had lessons, only one of my brothers went to school for music. The rest of us, we all play by ear, all of us. And we all play all kinds of different instruments. And that's where it started.
The other thing that I admire about your grandmother is that within the church, she was a woman that started a church.
Yes, she did. Yep.
And within the church, there were opportunities for women to
Mm-hmm.
be in
Leadership.
to be
Mm-hmm.
leaders.
Yep.
On the other hand, it seemed that there still was some resistance to
It
women.
was. Yeah, it was. Our church was full of women. There was resistance. It got to a point where, as we got older, we didn't want to just be right there. We had desires, dreams to do other things. My grandmother said this one thing to us. I remember her saying it to me, and I believe she said to all of us, if you're going to go out there in the world, whatever you do, give it 100%. And she was talking about, being spiritual. If you're going to be part of the world, trying all these different experimental things, then you be the best that you can be. She said, don't be in between. Don't try to live for Christ and then hang out in the worldly world. She used to say that to me all the time. Because I just believe where she came from, they didn't believe in going out and just experimenting. And not even bad things, just maybe traveling or, something like that. They just always believe your place should always be sitting right there in the church. And that's from how she grew up and the generation before her grew up. That's just what they believed in. It was just, get married, be in the church, have your kids, work your job, and that's what they look for. But, generations come and they want more than just that. We all went out, did our own thing. And eventually our church was shut down because as time grew, members got less. And so they just started shutting different churches down from our headquarters, from our overseer, and they tried to combine us with another church here in Toledo, and it just didn't work out. We all ended up in different other organizations, different churches, and that's just life. Every generation, things change, and either you're gonna move with the times or get left behind.